Hello to everybody watching and listening, and once more welcome back to Mechabellum, playing against J. Schulze. If that name is German, that's how you would pronounce it. I don't know if he is German or not, but I'm gonna go with that. Mr. Schulze here, or rather Herr Schulze, is going for some Stormcrawlers, as I am I. The difference is that he has 2 arc lights and I have 3. And I'm probably gonna have 2 crawlers, whereas he has 3. Yeah. So it's about a mirror for the first round at least, although the positioning could barely be any more different. I have begun placing the Stormcrawlers to the side, but honestly I don't particularly like it, and you're gonna see why very quickly now. At least in the first few rounds, they tend to kinda just get crawled if the opponent has crawlers near the edge of the map. I guess that's fair to say. And now suddenly there's a bunch of crawlers on both sides on top of my storm crawlers. There is some arc lights here, but there is no arc lights here. And that's costing me dearly. There's some crawlers on his storm crawlers as well, but he gets a tower first, his storm crawlers shoot mine, and the round is not exactly going great for the moment. 3 crawlers can kill a tower in a decent amount of time, but not under a debuff. And even if, it probably wouldn't have mattered all that much. Well, I guess they could have killed some Stormcrawlers in theory. Anyway, it's also not as terrifyingly bad. We have some stuff coming out. Intensive training, redeployment, improved Wraith and Assault Fang probably not really good in Standard versus Standard. Alright, so he did pick Intensive Training and I picked Improved Wraith, because I am Area Specialist. I can just throw one of these things down. It's going to cost me very little in the long run, like it's the cost of the card basically, because I don't have any unlock costs, and my Improved Wraiths are pretty strong. This thing is already past 18,000 health, and does a good amount of damage in 60 meters range. It can definitely protect me on this side, which is why I've placed it here, because that side got broken through last time. There is a Marksman in the middle, fairly aggressively positioned, I want to say, for a standard match. There's one crawler here. Can the Arclight? No, it cannot turn around. So there is one crawler on these storm crawlers. On the other side, with the Wraith here, there was nothing really to stop it, so it's not a surprise that this was going in my favor. I think there is but one crawler here, and I guess one crawler was on the storm crawlers, but the Wraith is gonna take care of that very, very easily. Boop, and it's gone. I'm not yet sure if I want to keep the Wraith or not. For the moment, this is kinda to force a reaction in whatever way, shape or form out of my opponent. We have some level 2 fangs, but 4 units of chaff are actually pretty juicy to just plain get. We also have Vulcans, Typhoons and Fire Badgers. I'm not even sure what I went for here. I think it was the Fire Badgers, yeah. My opponent has basically now filled out his entire board with some fangs. Protects him against flanks. Gives him some extra chaff at the front. I don't think it's a bad choice, though it would have been way better if these had been 6 level 1 fangs. That would have been sweet. There is a level 2 marksman. He did use the intensive training on it, I think. And that can do a decent amount of damage to the Wraith. I do now have defense enhancement level 1. So that thing is going to survive a decent amount of shots from the marksman, but not all that much. There is no chaff to cover it, so I guess this thing's going to get eaten relatively quickly. It can't clear the chaff as quickly as it would need in order to survive getting destroyed by the marksman. At least I think so. Yeah, it's not going to work. Barely it's not going to work. On the other side, however, there is a new unit that my opponent doesn't really have anything to deal with for the moment. The Marksmen here, the level 2-1, died to the Stormcrawlers, and they can definitely level after this. Yeah, right now they're really hurting. And these things are really hurting. So it looks like round number 3 is also going in my favor for the moment. Round number 4. Another improved air unit, but I don't think I go for that. Deployment or incendiary, I think, are the best choices here. Range specialist is just way too expensive, in my opinion. 400, that is literally half the economy you have this round. My opponent did pick deployment, I picked incendiary. I sold the Wraith. I don't particularly see much of a purpose in it for the moment. I have Fire Badgers for Crawler clear now. He goes for range on the Marksmen and adds more of them. I guess now they can match the range of the Stormcaller, so they're not even bad. I do go for some additional Fire Badgers on the other side and give them range. And then some more Fire Badgers. The level 2 Marksman does about, yeah, I guess it needs like 1.5 shots in order to kill a Fire Badger at level 1, so it's not even that good yet. Fire comes down and does good damage to my opponent. Marksmen are caught within the range, so this one will probably exit the range in a matter of a few seconds. Oh no, it finds some crawlers to target, and that gets it killed. There's one Fire Badger left to deal with those crawlers. The crawlers are approaching, but the Stormcrawlers helped out a good amount. On the other side, there's just nothing really that can touch these level 3 Fire Badgers, and they are probably going to level 4 soon. I didn't put any levels on the Stormcrawlers though. They are, however, still pretty good at killing those marksmen. It's another round down, and so far my opponent has kinda been dying at a decent pace. After 4 rounds of losing repeatedly, he's at half health, but if memory serves, that's not gonna stay. He picks Skill Specialist. That now means that he can constantly elite, or rather intensive train something. It has a 0 round cooldown, so he can use it every single round. I put down the shield. I mean, technically I could have gone for the skill spec and unlocked oil or something like that in the next round. Even in this round. I have Fire Badgers after all. But I wanted the shield here so that my units on this side can get more done. I now put levels on my own Stormcrawlers here. Opponent could technically level one of them, but he has not. He's kind of just focusing on a very balanced board of just Marksmen. And he levels them. Now he also ranges the arc lights for some extra chaff clear, no doubt. I'm still not entirely sure what kind of board this is, but right now I am faced with nothing but Marksmen. There's another 4 at level 1. What is happening here? This is not how you usually play. This is a crazy amount of Marksmen for round 5. And probably the reason he has been losing so far. Because he has nothing in front to stand in front of these Marksmen and help with anything. Well, there is some sort of, I want to say, almost critical mass. If you do have the chaff clear, and he did range the arc lights, fair enough this time around, there starts to be some kind of critical mass of marksmen where they will just gun down everything that approaches. It is similar with phoenixes. Usually I would say I see it more with phoenixes, simply because you can deploy them much more effectively, but we have a deployment specialist here. So, yeah. There's still some annoying chaff units, but now all of that has been cleared. The marksmen are gunning, though. There's still a lot of Stormcrawlers left, so it's going to go in my favor most likely. But it goes to show he now won this side that he previously lost as well. Didn't slow down in time. Shield device specialist. I go for the absorption module. I just like all of the modules. And I put it on these level 4 Fire Badgers that probably will level to level 5 in the next round. They are starting to have, each of these now kinda has the health of a, Vulcan. So basically, think of this small clump of units as a bunch of Vulcans. They now have both the field maintenance and the absorption module, which means they are going to heal a crazy amount. However, with the amount of leveled marksmen my opponent has, he also added a crazy amount of damage to the to the board right now. I go add some additional Stormcrawlers because I'm really not sure what I need to do into this board, and getting some long-range artillery firepower is hopefully not a bad idea. Meanwhile, he just adds on even more marksmen. He even bought out this round. I guess it's kinda getting close health-wise. There's now some chaff in front, but there also is arc lights here in order to deal with that. And that means with the additional damage, even through the heal, these fire badgers are getting annihilated. Not these chats here, at least not yet. But given enough time, the marksman will definitely outgrow everything else. This is what I meant last round by the critical mass of marksmen so long as your chaff clear isn't abysmal. And my opponent has stormcallers and ranged arc lights for chaff clear. They are starting to just absolutely push through. With the extra amount of damage they got, this is now not even that good of a fight for me. There is still these stormcallers and fire badgers, but to put it very bluntly, they can't kill all of that.